Hey everyone, it's Ricky, and I'm going to be talking about the new All-Stars from RuPaul's Drag Race rumored cast. Now there's a bit of speculation on elimination orders for the first 3 weeks. I'm not really going to get into that. I'm just going to talk about the queens that are rumored to be on the season and my thoughts on them. There's kind of a mixed opinion about this cast. One side thinks that this isn't a very all-star type cast compared to the last season, and then the other half are actually really excited to see some of the underdogs come back. When I saw this cast, I was really excited, and I can't wait to see some of the people that are on this list. So let me just jump right into it. So first up is Morgan McMichaels. Now on her season, she only lasted, I think, 4 or 5 weeks, and then she went home on a lip sync against Thora Davenport. From what I remember, I actually really liked her. She was kind of sassy, a little bit bitchy, but she was a very good lip syncer and she knew what she was doing. And she's evolved so much. Like, I feel like it would be great to have her back because it would kind of be a Tatiana effect where Tatiana grew so much from her season, and we got to see how much she grew and how amazing she is because not that many people knew about her. And now she's super famous in the drag world again. Not saying that Morgan isn't famous in the drag world, but she could move up a couple notches more just because she is from season 2 as well, and nobody really knows about her either. But she is very talented, and I'm really excited to see her. So next up is Shangela. A lot of people didn't like that Shangela was going to be on the season because they said that she already had 2 chances. She was on season 2 and season 3. Now, what I have to say to that is she was only on season 2 for 1 episode and her screen time was maybe like 10 minutes. So she did have a chance, but she barely even competed. And then on season 3, she showed, you know, I'm actually here to win and I can do this. Granted, I do think that she got a little annoying at the end of her season. She was just kind of a little too poor me, kind of, but she's an amazing performer. She lip syncs very well. That's another thing about this season of Queens. A lot of them are very strong lip syncers, and I'm really excited to see Shangela back. Also, if people are gonna have a problem with Shangela coming back, then they need to have a problem with Trixie coming back for the same reason. Because Trixie had 2 chances and so did Shangela, but both of them are amazing, so why not let both of them on? I personally don't mind that Shangela's on. I'm really excited to see her. Next up is Milk. Now, I think this is one of the main queens where people are like, why is she back on? I personally loved Milk in her season. I wanted her to go farther. I thought the fact that she was in the bottom 2 during the rap challenge was complete bullshit. It should have been Darian in the bottom 2 instead of her. I don't think Milk should have even been in the bottom, so I thought it was a tiny bit unfair. But she's very different. She has such a different style. She's quirky. She's kind of Club Kid, in which I love Club Kid. If you watch my season 9 review, you'll know that the Club Kid Couture runway was my favorite one out of all of them. So I'm really excited to see what kind of looks that Milk brings. And also, I really liked Milk's personality too. Plus, eye candy, I mean, you can't argue with that. Next up is Creme, and I was actually very surprised to see that some people think that Creme doesn't deserve to be on All-Stars, which I was like, are you kidding me? She's one of the only queens that I really wanted to see on. Like, she was on my top 3 queens to see on All-Stars season. I was so disappointed when she wasn't on All-Stars 2, and now she's on All-Stars 3, rumored. And I'm so excited. She was one of my favorite queens of all time on any season of Drag Race. Yeah, she maybe was a little too much with her personality sometimes, but I didn't really care about that. I'm just so excited to see her and see what she has to bring to the table because she has so much charisma, so much uniqueness. She has nerve. And she has a ton of talent. She's one of the most talented people to ever come off of Drag Race. I feel like in her season, she got a lot of flack from the judges for no reason, like especially from Michelle. I think it was just because she had kind of a same look to Michelle, and I don't know. For some reason, Michelle just didn't seem too pleased about Ben de la Creme's aesthetic or like what she was doing. Like, no matter what Ben did, they didn't like it. Also, her elimination was one of the most unfair, most controversial eliminations ever because she deserved to win that challenge that she went home on. Because she was the only one, if you remember back in the Dripping in Jewels challenge, she was the only one that actually looked like she was dripping in jewels. Everyone else looked like they were like dusted in glitter. So anyways, I'm really excited to see her. Hopefully she does really well. I know she will. She's so talented. So her, I'm like #1. Super excited to see, can't wait. and I actually hope that she wins this whole thing. A lot of people are hoping that another certain queen wins this whole thing, and that would be Trixie Mattel. So Trixie Mattel, everyone's been wanting to be on an All-Star season for a long time now. She's done a lot of stuff with World of Wonder, being in commercials, and she's in the series with Katya. So a lot of people are expecting really, really good things from her. I personally am too. On her season, she didn't really do too well. I liked her a lot, but I don't think she performed to the best of her ability. I do think that she shouldn't have gone home against Pearl in that lip sync. I mean, that was another, like, one of the most controversial eliminations ever, but they brought her back, and then she was, I think, safe one week, and then was put in the bottom 2 and then went home the next week right after that. So I'm really, really excited to see her. A lot of people are too. A lot of people want her to win the season. I just hope that if she gets eliminated fairly, people just need to calm down, not send death threats to the judges, just be nice and take it with a grain of salt. It's just a show about drag queen. I can already tell right now if Trixie gets eliminated, people will be up in arms about it. She has a bunch of stuff on YouTube. She's gonna keep coming out with the On series with Katya, and I heard that her and Katya are getting their own new show on Viceland, so there you go. You have enough Trixie to go around, even if she doesn't win this season. Next up was Kennedy Davenport, and this is another one where a lot of people were like, why is she back on? Personally, I am not too much of a fan of Kennedy. I think she's super, super talented. She's a great lip syncer. She knows her dance moves and her acrobats and everything, but she was just kind of a little too, like, I'm better than you in her season. That just kind of put me off. Like, her and Ginger were the two worst offenders of that, and I personally didn't like either of them in their season. I don't think Kennedy will win this season, but who knows? Anybody can win this season. If it's gonna be another controversial, not critiquing Alaska when she needs to be critiqued, and then giving her wins of lip syncs that she doesn't really deserve to win on, then I don't know. I mean, that wasn't totally my opinion. Honestly, I think Katya should have won All Stars 2, but that's only because so many more people were behind her. I think she had more than twice the amount of fan votes from Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr than Alaska did, and then Detox and Roxy were just like totally way behind. But I understand why Alaska won, and I'm just hoping that, going back to Trixie, just because Trixie is the most liked, I hope that they don't brush off some of the things that she could be critiqued on. I hope that this whole season turns out very fair and square. I don't think that they should go with the queens choose who goes home, because that obviously was just very annoying with the Elastica Talks thing last season. We'll see what happens. Anyways, I'm excited to see Kennedy on this season, and we'll see what happens with her. So next up is Thor. In her season on season 8, I started out really hoping that she would win. Like, she was one of the people that I wanted to win the most. As the season went on, she kind of showed almost all that she had to give. I mean, I liked her. I think she's very entertaining. She's funny, but I think she gets in her own head too much, and that could possibly hinder her in this season as well. But, you know, we'll see. I think we saw all that we could get from her, but who knows? She could pull out something really fantastic. Now, somewhat spoiler alert, not really, but rumors are in the first challenge she does very, very well, and she, you know, does her little violin thing with the whole lip sync, and apparently was one of the best of the night. That's something that she hasn't shown on TV that she is very, very good at, so I'm excited to see that. But I don't know, I feel like it hasn't been long enough. It's been about 2 years since her season filmed, so maybe she can get out of her own head. Who knows? We'll see. Next up is Chi-Chi devayne from season 8, and I love Chi-Chi. At first, I kind of brushed her off. I was just like, oh, she's probably not gonna make it that far, but I like her. And then she made it all the way up till the top 4, and I honestly thought, personally, that she should have gone to the top 3 as well, but she didn't. Season 8 was more of a growing experience for her, and I feel like now that it's been 2 years that have passed and she has more money to get the certain things that she didn't have before, she's going to do very, very well. At least I hope, because I know she's super, super talented. She's really hilarious, and I'm really excited to see her too. I'm excited to see all these queens. I don't know why so many people are hating on this season already, just based on the rumored queens that are on. So next queen that is rumored to be on is Aja from season 9. And personally, I don't think that if you just came off of one of your seasons, you should be on the next All-Star season, just because there isn't too much room for growth. Aja was not in the top 3 at all in her season, and I think she lasted like 7 or 8 episodes. So I'm not really sure if she has more to show. I mean, she is a very entertaining person. I love her personality, but I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. The reason why I'm confused as to her being one of the rumored queens is because she has been on social media a lot lately. Now, it could be somebody else, but she's been very, very active on Twitter. I'm not sure about if she's actually on or not, or maybe she got eliminated early. I'm not really sure. So the next 2 queens that are rumored to be on, which I've heard it's either one or the other, more so for Darien Lake, and then the other side of the fence is BBSR. I'll start with Darien Lake. If Darien Lake is on, she was from season 6. I don't think she should have made it as far as she did on that season. However, it's been 4 or 5 years since her season filmed, and I think she is still hilarious. Hopefully she's not as petty towards Creme as she was on her season, but we'll see what happens with that. I'm always excited for a big girl to come back. Personally, I would have liked to see Stacey Lane Matthews. If a big girl was gonna come back, I want to see Stacey Lane Matthews on an All-Star season. She's so entertaining. She's another one of my top 5 people I want to be on All-Stars. Creme being another one. I feel like Stacey would just be so entertaining. I just rewatched season 3 like not too long ago. Stacey was hilarious, and I still get mad whenever I see her elimination. Hopefully she can come back for another season. I know she's just like a meme to some people, but she is legendary. Thank you very much. So the next lesser rumored queen is BBSR. BB won season 1. However, it's been a very long time since season 1 aired, so I would actually be really, really excited to see BB back on our screens. She was very talented. It was such a toss-up between her and Nina Flowers for season 1, if anyone even watched that. I mean, I know a lot of people haven't watched it, but she's kind of faded into obscurity a little bit as far as, you know, people who get talked about from Drag Race. So it would actually be really, really interesting to see her on Drag Race and competing in an All-Star season, just to show, you know, prove that she still has it. She's competing against 10 queens now, or 9 queens, which I think in season 1 it was only like 8 queens that were competing. And so it would really actually be very interesting to see her on. So overall, I really like this cast. I don't know why a lot of people are hating on it. I personally think that all of these queens in their own right are All-Stars, and they all have something different to bring to the table. Like I said before, there are a couple of speculations on the elimination order for the first 3 weeks, because I think it's been about 3 weeks into filming now. And the fact that Aja is rumored to definitely be on, and she's on social media right now, as well as Darien and BBSR, by the way. Darien Lake and BB are both active on social media. So I don't really know. Those 3 queens, I'm not sure if they're on, or maybe they got eliminated early. I'm not sure. We'll see. I'm very excited for the season. I think that after this season, they need to take maybe a 2-year break for All-Stars, do 10 and 11, and then go and then have more queens from season 9, season 10, and then maybe even 1 or 2 from season 11 as well. If they keep doing All-Star seasons repeatedly every single year, then it's gonna be an issue where they're gonna kind of run out of queens to call All-Stars, and they're just gonna kind of pick people that maybe shouldn't be on it. So I do think after this season they need to just take a little hiatus and see what happens. But yeah, overall I'm really excited. I will be coming out with a new video once the official cast comes out, and I will be talking about it then, and I'll be talking about my predictions, who I think is gonna make it far, etc, etc. So thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.